Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video, and today I want to talk about love handles. I want to talk about how we can lose the lower back fat. So I want to show you on screen here a picture of me when I was carrying a bit too much weight. You can see the love handles. A lot of people have them, and it's the stubborn area where it seems to be the hardest place to lose. And I'm going to show you another picture here where I got rid of those love handles, and you can see a nice V-taper. So how did I do this? Well, I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to give you some tips on how we can do this. But first of all, we need to understand that when it comes to losing body fat, we need to create an energy deficit, a calorie deficit. So we can't, unfortunately, spot reduce. We can't pick specific exercises to target specific areas. This is something that a lot of people try to do. For example, if you're trying to lose your lower belly fat and you're doing 1,000 sit-ups to try and crunch it away, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. I know it's not good. I would love to be able to do some side crunches to get rid of the love handles, but it's not the way it works. The way it works is creating an energy deficit for a long period of time and slowly stripping that body fat. Now, sometimes it may feel that you're never going to get there, and I get that. But this is more about looking at your overall plan and the overall method that you're following, which is helping you lose body fat. Because if you've had experience in the past with losing weight, great. What we need to focus on now is carrying on doing that. So it starts with the fundamentals, tracking our calories, understanding how much food that we're consuming. Because if we don't know how much food that we're consuming, then we don't even know if we're going to be in that calorie deficit or not. And then secondly, we need to look at the energy output, how many calories we're expending. This might seem like basic stuff, but this is the stuff that gets the results. When you're looking at how many calories you're consuming, tracking it, making sure that you're consuming the right amount of protein, carbs, fats, understanding food choices, different foods have different micronutrients, etc. When you understand a bit more about nutrition, you can gauge what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating, and then you make changes as and when. Alongside that is how much cardio you're doing, how much energy you're expending. So this can obviously be your steps, your walking, and your training as well. It all adds up to energy expenditure. When we've got this data, it allows us to see what we need to do to keep moving forward, what we need to do to keep making progress. If you're lost with not tracking this and you're not getting results, then this is the first place you have to come, because you'll get overwhelmed with trying to figure out, am I doing the right cardio? Am I eating the right food? Follow the basics, and then when you start seeing results, what you can do is you know what to change. You start taking pictures, you can take body measurements, you weigh yourself, and then over time, you make progress and the body fat starts to come off. Down the line, you may have lost 10, 15, 20 pounds, but you still might have those love handles. That's frustrating. But what do? You keep going. You keep staying consistent. And that's the third big point that I want to bring up here is consistency. I know everyone talks about it. It's a fundamental. We understand, yes, I need to keep doing it. But if you're someone that starts and stops, yo-yo diets, then this is the thing that we need to fix. Because when you've lost those 10, 15, 20 pounds, that's successful, great. But if you stop because you get a bit frustrated because the rest hasn't come off, it's down to not being patient and not pushing forward. Drop another 10, 15 pounds possibly, and you start to see the love handles disappear. And that's what I did in my progress. That's what I did when I'd done my photo shoot preps, my competition preps. I kept going and going and going. Sometimes it feels like forever. I understand that. But this is just down to how much body fat you've got. I think I lost 35 pounds in one of my fat loss phases. And trust me, the first 10, 15 pounds are tough. you know, because when you start getting going, you can't really see anything. And then when you get to 15-20 pounds, you're starting to see a little bit more shape, and then push past that, and that's when you start to see the lower body fat, the lower belly fat start to reduce, and the love handles start to come off. And then you realize I was doing everything right in the first place, but I just wasn't pushing forward. I wasn't being consistent, and I was giving up. A lot of people give up right near the end when they only needed to lose another 5-10 pounds to get that lower love handles off. And it's the stubborn areas. You know, some people carry a lot more on their midsection, their lower back, their bum, their legs. I carry a lot on my lower body. So if I wanted to get very lean legs, it's no good me doing leg press 5 times a week or squatting 100 kilos, 20 reps at a time. It's not going to be the exercise that's going to do it. It's going to be the consistency of reducing body fat over time, and then eventually the legs will get lean. And it's the same principle for losing lower back fat. You've just got to keep going. You've got to remember why you're doing this. And something that I didn't mention, which is probably one of the most important principles of all of it, is it has to be a process that you can sustain. Because if it's not, you will give up very quick. If it's something that's not sustainable, if you're not enjoying it, if it's just too hard, if you're over restricting yourself when it comes to how many calories you're consuming, you're burning yourself out by doing too much cardio right at the start, then of course, if you've got another 20-25 pounds to come off, you're going to be like, I'm not doing this anymore. This is too tough. So it has to be a gradual process. It has to be a process that you can see yourself doing for a good 3 to 6 months, because unfortunately that's how long it can take when it comes to losing 20, 30, 40 pounds of body fat, just like I've done and just like I've done with my clients. So the take home message here is we can lose the love handles, we can lose the lower back fat, but it isn't going to be spot reducing. It's going to be a consistent process of reducing body fat week by week by week, being patient, visualizing the end goal, and then you will get there. I hope that helps, guys. Make sure you like the video if you do, and of course subscribe. See you in the next video.